I need to borrow your imagination in this video. Imagine sometime in the future, maybe the near future, hopefully not. But imagine within a week or two, gas hits $47 a gallon. Loaf of bread, $25. Gallon of milk, $30. And that's if you're even lucky enough to find any, because after the US dollar collapses, and it will eventually, the shelves are going to be emptied quick. Hello everybody, welcome to Sobriety and Silver. I woke up sober this morning because I went to bed sober last night. Before I get any further into this video, I would like to take a minute and thank Dirty Man Safe for sponsoring my channel. I actually do have a Dirty Man Safe and I do like it. And if you think about it, mankind has been burying their precious metals, jewelry, important documents for thousands of years. We're still digging up and finding buried treasure from hundreds and thousands of years ago. Think about it. When's the last time a burglar broke into somebody's house and went and dug up their backyard? Dirty Man Safe, thank you for sponsoring the channel. If you guys are interested in any of the products they have, click the link down in my description. Use the promo code SAS10 and you'll get 10% off your purchase. All right, let's get back into this video because I want to talk about copper. Yeah, I had it sideways. I love copper. And I had comments saying, why would you pay the premiums on copper? You know, you pay $1.50 to $2 for each 1 ounce copper round. But the melt value on them is only about 28 cents. But here's where the imagination comes in. US dollar has collapsed. Maybe you were lucky enough to stack gold and silver. Maybe you wasn't. And if you were not, or maybe you had just gotten into it and don't have a whole lot, you know, once you realize what's going on, you run to your local coin shop and you're going to buy some real quick. Yeah, probably not. The shelves are probably going to be emptied pretty quick at your local coin shop. And I imagine the premiums are going to be outrageous if you do manage to find some. Good luck ordering any from online bullion dealer, because even if they are still taking orders, I imagine it's going to be months before you finally get your product. So that brings us back to copper. If you want to make a purchase, you know, with gold, I would think that gold would be used for a large purchase. Land, a vehicle, something like that. Farm animals, a horse, that kind of stuff. Silver, medium purchases, you know, a truckload of firewood or medicine, things like that. I'm just spitballing here. Again, use your imagination. Constitutional silver, I want to talk about that because you guys know I love constitutional silver, but here's a thought that I had. The US dollar has collapsed, and a lot of the younger generation doesn't know the difference between a 1962 quarter and a 2021 quarter. So are they going to associate that collapsed US dollar with that quarter, thinking it's only a quarter? That could be where copper comes in. So you have a neighbor. That neighbor has a child. And that child is sick. Sorry about that, guys. My phone is not focusing. That child is sick and needs some kind of antibiotics or aspirin or something like that, and your neighbor doesn't have any, but you do. And as bad as you want to be a good person, you really want to get something for it because that's the way life is now. Well, your neighbor comes over and he has 4 or 5 copper rounds. You take it because you know that copper has value. You know that you can hold it. You know that it has weight. And that same young person that doesn't know the difference between a 1962 silver, 90% silver quarter and a 2022 worthless quarter, you hand them, you know, you need something, you need some food, or you need the tried and true, why everybody in SHTF scenario talks about beans and rice. We'll go with, you need some beans and rice. Man, I tell you what, I'm going to invest in beans and rice, because that's all it's people going to eat after SHTF. But anyway, you hand them a 1 ounce copper round, they hold it and they feel it, and they know copper, and it says 999 fine copper right on it, so they know they're holding something of value. So is it possible that the ones of us that love to stack copper right now, when it has absolutely very little melt value per 1 ounce round, and again about 28 cents, and we're paying $2 or $1.50 for each round, is it worth it for us to spend, I don't know, $30 for a tube of 20 copper rounds every couple months, just in case? And if it's something that we never use in our lifetime, I hope it's something that we never have to use in our lifetime. Hopefully the dollar doesn't collapse anytime soon. But what about our children? What about our grandkids? Is this something we could pass down to them and set them up for possible trade for goods and services later on down the road? Now, obviously, I wouldn't imagine copper would be the first source of bartering material, because I would imagine goods and services are going to be first. You know, firewood, food, skills. If you have a certain skill, I imagine that would be highly useful in a SHTF scenario. But stacking copper rounds now, even though all we're doing is stacking them because we like the way they look, we like the way they feel, we like collecting them, they are cheap, they are, you can stack a lot of them with a very little money. Could they one day become something very useful, very needed, and set up maybe a family member in a time of crisis? And I'm knocking everything over. And I'm done. With that being said, it was just having a little fun in this video, guys. You never know what's going to happen. It's better to be prepared for anything and everything. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Thanks again, Dirty Man Safe. You guys have a beautiful, wonderful, blessed day. I'll see you in the next video.